She looks like Ben Vereen, feet like AC Green. And don't call here anymore. Listen, man. Fabian perspective, expected, so accepted. This is friendly fire. Friendly fire. The glasses ain't on. We'll get to Knicks rehab later. But right now, it's friendly fire. Some subjects, more pop culture references. Fabian perspective, that's me. Expected. So accepted. Shout out to Joe Rose. Deja un like, comentario y subscribe. AllBall TV, 500 away from 7,000 subscribers. We'd love to thank all 6,500 other subscribers for tapping in, subscribing, showing us love. All the super chats, the memberships, they're all ready. The merch is on its way. I got one idea for the merch right now I'm working on. Should be just really dope for the Knicks rehab thing. Friendly fire should be easy. We're gonna get our friendly fire like what do you call it? Lighter soon. Yeah, man. Friendly fire. Here to talk about pop culture references, and we're gonna start it off here. Let's start off with how this all started with Joe Budden, Cenat, and now Aiden Ross got involved. And that's right, you guessed it. This is a reaction to the reaction to the reaction to the reaction. I'm involved. I'm in the mix, as the kiddos say. She looked like Ben Vereen, feet like AC Green. Why would they say that, man? Miss, don't call here anymore. See, I need the audio to be my AirPods, but whatever. It's not working for some reason. She looks like Ben Vereen. Yo, Dr. Dre was bugging. How come I don't have? All right, man. I have to get to use my. It's saying it's hooked up for the AirPods. There we go. AirPods hooked up. YouTube, are you ready? YouTube, are you ready? So Joe Budden, we'll get right into it. Joe Budden, well, Killer Mike won an award at the Grammys for best rap album or whatever it was. And Cenat went off. He's like, yo, congrats. Positive energy. But I don't know who you are. That's what Cenat said. Cenat, of course, big time streamer doing big time things. I think he's from the Bronx. I saw like a documentary on him. He was living in Atlanta for a while in Georgia. He made his way to the Bronx, though, as well. So let's check this out real quick. They have a short on how things went left real fast. So Killer Mike went off. Killer Mike won the Grammy. Then Cenat, he didn't know who he was. He shunned him, disrespected him, I guess, in a way where he's just like, I don't know who you are. And who cares? Who are you? Joe Budden comes out, represents for the old crew. And he's like, bro, you can't say it about Killer Mike.
Two. Killer Mike, thank you. Who the decided this mother? Utopia!
Utopia. Unopia. That's what you wanted to win over Killer Mike? Feed!
Me and Kai are 10 times more richer than you and you will ever be. Old man, you're obviously a very salty old man.
Y'all little screaming don't always run. We don't care about none of that little streamy mosh pit.
Let me know what the you're trying to do, Joe Budden. Respectfully, I'm gonna shit on you, bro.
Shut up for a change.
I'm not gonna let this broke, hating ass talk shit about me and my brothers.
He won and ain't sit down with a single streamer.
And the Grammy goes to Killer Mike.
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that part where he said, like Aiden Ross was talking kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Aiden Ross, stop talking like you could beat people up. I'm not saying I could beat people up, but you're talking way too tough. So So basically, yeah, Killer Mike won an award. Cenat didn't know who he was because Cenat is like 18 years old. Aiden Ross is like 20 years old. All these little facial hairs don't fool me. And then Joe Budden responded. Cenat said, "Yo, Joe Budden, you're a bum. Basically, you're an old bum. I make way more money than you, and you're always hating. Every time you bring up my name, you're hating." And then Aiden Ross said the same thing. We make 10 times more money, and they made Joe Budden sound like he was insignificant. And the funny part to me is, all Joe Budden did, and by the way, I'm not even a big, like, I think Joe Budden is like the best, not like he is the best podcaster this side of Joe Rogan. I've been listening to podcasts from the jump damn near. You got, Joe Rogan, Joe Budden. They're up there. Like, Joe Budden is really good at what he does. He's just a scumbag. That's just what he is. I don't need to get into the history. Too many YouTube sites for this to break that down, right? So Joe Budden came back and spoke about, he criticized what Cenat was saying. He basically said, like, who are you? I'll lift this camera up. He basically said, who are you? And he critiqued Cenat the same way Cenat critiqued Killer Mike. In the same way Aiden Ross, the same way he critiqued Killer Mike, is the same way Aiden Ross be going off. That's the part I don't understand. All he did was what you guys do. And then you try to make Joe Budden seem insignificant. You can't do that. You got 10 times more money, then why are you mentioning him? If he's clout chasing, what y'all doing? Because if Joe Budden was Joe Schmo, you have nothing to say about it. Right? So it's BS. I call BS. What do the kids say? Cap. They clout chasing. And guess what I'm doing? Same thing. I hate these pop culture topics, by the way. But that being said, let's get into a little bit of a hotter, more familiar basketball in the basketball realm. Why would you do that? Let's get into what the hell? Yesterday was obviously the trade deadline in the NBA. And wow, having technical difficulties here. All right. Okay, boom. This is what I wanted to see. Share screen. Bow. Okay. So yesterday was the trade deadline for the NBA, and a lot of busy teams out there. The Knicks, of course, I'm a Knicks fan. Big deal. They got rid of Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes. They traded them away. Quentin Grimes, big time soldier. Evan Fournier, he's a soldier too. People forget he just riding the bench, even though he could have played a couple games and not let Brunson get hurt. That's neither here nor there. The Mavericks surprisingly got rid of Grant Williams. And we heard some rumblings while the season was going on. The Dallas Mavericks were determined to part ways with Grant Williams after he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. As per ESPN, that's Tim McMahon, who Jason Kidd and Luka Doncic and all these guys always get on about anything basketball, right? Notably, he also switched his basketball sneakers from Luka's to Jason Tatum's signature shoes. This is the Dunk Central, not to be confused with the Dunk Central on ESP on Twitter. Because on Twitter, you have the Dunk Central. Look, they have 1.5 million followers. They're more, you know, they got the blue check mark, so they're official, right? So this is not fake. This is not fake news. Notably, Grant Williams also switched his basketball sneakers from Luka's signature sneakers to Jason Tatum's signature shoes. Remember, Luka Doncic used to play alongside Jason Tatum in Boston. So, like, that was, I guess, a sneak. He sounds immature, Grant Williams. Right? That's what it sounds like. But the reason why Twitter is so hilarious is because look at this. Look at this. Look how Kyrie's looking at him. Look, this is Grant Williams taking a selfie, filming himself during the game on the bench or whatever he's doing. Kyrie's looking at him like, dog, what are you doing? Out of here. And look how he's laughing. Look how Grant Williams is laughing. He looks like a schmuck. AllBall wanted to trade with Grant Williams, by the way. How dare you even think so? This was horrible. Horrible. Also, so before we end that, Grant Williams, I think, was traded from the Dallas Mavericks, and you see Kyrie Irving and these guys, they don't take him seriously. Luka Doncic doesn't take him seriously. If Kyrie's, passive aggressive, he's been criticized enough in his career, right? Kyrie has. And he got traded. Like, it was imminent. He signed a 4-year, $53 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks in the offseason, and he's traded less than 6 months later. This explains why. And the fact that they did it so fast, says a lot. It shows you what the Mavericks really think about him in general. They had to get rid of him. They shipped him to the Hornets. And they got back PJ Washington, which is a good deal. But the better deal for them was Gafford. For the Mavericks, I really believe this puts them in a different position against everybody in the Western Conference. You got two guys in Kyrie and Luka, high IQ, could go for 40 at any given time. Man, and now you have Derek Lively. I don't know if he's going to be healthy. It seems like they're trying to spell his way into being healthy, and we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, for their sake, hopefully he is. But the fact that they wanted to get rid of Grant Williams says a lot. And Luka and them, you got back Gafford. I think I told Dom earlier, the Clippers really don't want to see the Mavericks because they both have health issues, right? So even if you're going to say, oh, if the Clippers are fully healthy, if they're both fully healthy, this is a 6-7 game series now. Clippers versus Mavericks. Mavericks versus anybody is now a 7-game series, in my opinion. Luka could win you, could pull you into 2, maybe 3 games, keep you into 2 or 3 games up in the air. And then Kyrie could do the same thing. And now defensively, they need those possessions where they could close out. They really do. Who's in the mix? Fleet in the building. I was talking about some pop culture stuff earlier, Fleet. Don't mind me. And in my opinion, the Mavericks are now in that position. And also, I love what Jason Kidd said here, man. Let me see. Copy link. They make this way too difficult for me to do what I want to do, man. Oh, there they go again. Yo, you messing me up in my notes, man. They messed up my notes. That ain't right. I have my notes set up so lovely. Wow. Wow, I messed up my notes, man. All right. Well, let me see. Jason Kidd. Damn it. There was a quote from Jason Kidd. There was a quote from Jason Kidd, and he said that Luka and Kyrie are not 23 years old, fighting to see who the alpha is on the team. I'll probably post it up when I'll fix it up later. And that's indicative of this, because Grant Williams is showing the signs of immaturity of a 23-year-old or a young guy that they're trying to avoid. Like, if Luka and Kyrie aren't being immature about it, it sounds like, where the hell does Grant Williams feel like he can pull something like that off? That makes zero sense, right? And I like Luka. Jason Kidd said this is not a 23-year-olds fighting to see whose team this is. This is clearly Luka's team. Remember, Jason Kidd is all too familiar with fighting over whose team it is at 23 years old. If you don't know, Jason Kidd was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. He was there with Jim Jackson and Jamal Mashburn, two other stars at the time in the NBA. Hopefully that thing doesn't sound as loud as it does in here from the outside. And Jim Jackson claimed that the rumors weren't true about Tony Braxton, and they fought over a woman. Tony Braxton was a singer in the 90s, man. I don't want to say she was Beyonce. She wasn't Beyonce, but damn, she was close, man. Like, Tony Braxton was on fire in the 90s. And supposedly there was a fight over her in that locker room. That's how controversial the Dallas Mavericks were in the 90s. Those Triple J's, Jamal Mashburn from Uptown in New York, Jim Jackson, I forgot where he's from. I know he went to Ohio State. He was my favorite player at the time in the mid 90s, by the way. That's a fun fact for me. All because he scored like a 50-point game or something like that. And I didn't have any idea about basketball. I was starting to learn. But it was once Jason Kidd got there, it changed a lot of things. There was three superstars in Dallas, and they quickly got rid of it, disbanded that team. Like, these were three young guys in their early 20s. So when Jason Kidd makes a statement like that, he's talking about that. He's talking about, like, yo, we don't need to fight over this, over silly situations. Luka's 23, 24. Kyrie is 31, 32. And he made the statement, yo, this is Luka's team, period. Awesome. Grant Williams, out of here. That's important. And I think he's saying if Kyrie was 23, right? Like, if Kyrie and Luka are both 23, this doesn't work. So the balance in age and maturity, it just, it makes for the departure of Grant Williams that much easier. And again, I think it's scary for the Mavericks to have to get Gafford, because if Gafford and Lively are healthy, healthy. Again, as a Knicks fan, we keep talking about Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein being healthy. If they're healthy, we're gonna go crazy, right? But if the Mavericks have Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford healthy, and you got PJ Washington, come on, man! Like, this is the Phoenix Suns. You're in trouble. Clippers, you're in trouble. Nuggets, you're in trouble. These guys can score with all of you guys, and they can close certain possessions out. They can get stops. They can get transition points with these blocks. Gafford, I think that's who I wanted from Washington. It cost them a first-round draft pick too. That's what I wanted to check. Gafford, Mavericks. The pick was acquired via a separate deal between the Mavs and Oklahoma City, in which the Mavs sent a 2028 pick swap to the Thunder for a 2024 first round pick. What? Nah, come on, man. A 2024 first round pick. Dallas Mavericks pick? From Mavs via Thunder. Even if it's the Oklahoma City Thunder first round pick or the Mavs, they're both playoff teams. The Thunder probably have even less of a chance of getting anywhere near a top 10. Listen, man. That hurts. That hurts. Especially if you're the Phoenix Suns or anybody. Maybe about the Lakers. Maybe the Lakers should have offered their 2024 pick if they have it for Gafford. Actually, they shouldn't. They ain't making the playoffs. Either way, shout out to the Mavericks and Mark Cuban for, turning around everything in an instant after just blowing everything. Pause. Come on, you lost Jalen Brunson. They were hugging him for dear life last night at the Garden. Luka Doncic always shows love to Jalen Brunson. Too little, too late, though. The one that got away, Jalen. I was wondering if you guys want me to do a segment on just watching Brick Muse, Brick Muse stuff. Brick Muse to me is some of the most funniest. They have some of the funniest tweets ever. How did bro survive the deadline? What is that? Are you kidding me? Bro, nah. Slow-mo, you gotta chill out, man. That is big time trash. That's big time trash. I'll do a segment once a day on Brick Muse because they have me in tears every day. Slow-mo's jump shot looks crazy. That looks crazy. Brick Muse. Nah, they're nuts. They really, Brick Muse might need to really. That was definitely intentional. We might need to do a full parental advisory before we go on with Brick Muse. All because Killian Hayes is gone. That was the happiest Pistons locker room I've seen all season. Wow. Johnny Kane just asked Jaden Ivey about the roster getting overhauled, and he smiled so big, it almost looked like he was about to start laughing. Wow. Killian Hayes. Yes, Flea. I wanted slow-mo. I still want slow-mo. But that jump shot, I've always said he looks crazy. He looks nuts. And this is Friendly Fire. We got random topics. Pop culture. Right now, you know what's going crazy right now on the internet streets? Coyote versus Acme was canceled. That's right. Do you care? I do. This is crazy. David Zaslav and Twitter is coming at this man right here. They're not playing any games. They are destroying this man on Twitter. Coyote versus Acme, the movie. It was canceled. I didn't even know there was a Coyote versus Acme movie. It's kind of fire though. What happened? Oh, I gotta put it in here. The final days of Coyote vs. Acme. Offers, rejections, and a roadrunner. Race against time. So Warner Brothers was looking for $75 to $80 million, but there were rejected offers from Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount. Coyote vs. Acme producer Chris DeFaria got a startling phone call, and they told him they're going to close the books. This was in January of this year, earlier in January. In the words of the Roadrunner, meep, meep, meep. So they basically canceled this movie, and it was screening more goodwill and even louder public outcry. Right, there was a screening of it that they did. They did a screening, and they had basically I forgot what that's called when people sit around and they this is a screening for a movie, but they're also taking a survey. You need to get the reply from it, and it came out good, unlike their other movies. And look, the last movie to feature the characters was in 2021, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Was pillared by critics and lost money. So they were worried about it losing money like Space Jam, right? And LeBron. Figures LeBron, not clutch, dropping the ball. For Warner Brothers. They were this event where LeBron couldn't help Space Jam sell was the last time that there were these characters from Looney Tunes, Coyote, Roadrunner, in a movie, and it lost money. So that combined with the fact that they also dumped Batgirl. They talk about that here also. This is the guy, Chris DeFaria, that was a producer of the movie. Like, who are these people? That's why basketball is different, right? Who the hell are these people? Yo, go Clippers. You in LA, man. You tell me about what's going on here with this stuff. Offers and rejections, Coyote versus Acme. There were screenings for interested parties, according to several people familiar with the situation. Netflix, Amazon, Paramount screened the movie and submitted handsome offers. A handsome offer. These people are nuts. Paramount even proposed a theatrical release component to their acquisition of Coyote vs. Acme that would allow for Warner Brothers to save face and, more importantly, let audiences see the movie the way it was meant to be experienced. What does that mean? But you're gonna sit on a vibrating chair every time the Roadrunner fell off a cliff or Coyote fell off a cliff? Sounds dope, I guess. But Warner Brothers, which stood to make $35 to $40 million on the tax write-down, wanted something in the ballpark of $75 to $80 million from a buyer. And what's more, they wouldn't allow the interested studios to counter Warner Brothers' offer. It was a take it or leave it situation, one that the other studios didn't even know they were entering into. Insiders told the rap. Okay, cool. This is what it kind of looked like, Coyote in real life. That's kind of tough, to be honest with you. Coyote's running around like this, but they had good reviews from people that watched the movie. You had the executives that missed the screening. So David Zaslav, who canceled this movie, right? He didn't even watch the movie. That was a bit of a jerk move, number one. Then you cancel the movie. And on top of that, they're in for, let me see if I can find this real quick. Supposedly, they're going to get sued. David Zaslav lawsuit. they may get sued for canceling a movie. And it's the way that they did it. I'm not surprised that a lawsuit at Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav has already broken out. Though I guarantee it wouldn't be the only lawsuit that'll hit the studio and him. The damage he's caused is going to have some big consequences. This is September 27th of 2022. A class action lawsuit claims Warner Brothers Discovery cooked its HBO subscriber numbers by as many as 10 million as well as misled shareholders in other ways. So he already has a bunch of lawsuits. One big lawsuit, it looks like class action lawsuit. Never watched Coyote. Essentially writing off. I saw a tweet where they were saying because he cut the movie and they're gonna put it down as a tax write-down. Oh, this is it where it gets funny. 2 hours ago, everyone, when they get the opportunity to sue Warner Brothers and David Zaslav, ASS, because they wrote it down as a tax write-down and they didn't do their due diligence, it looks like they can get sued again. So these guys are gonna get sued for I don't even know what reason, because they were looking for double the money to get on the investment. And there's a lot going on with Warner Brothers because they just announced that TNT, if I'm not mistaken, ESPN, and a bunch of these guys are going to have one streaming app to stream all sports or basketball. Let's look that up. Hold on. TNT HBO stream app. No, sports streaming. Right. ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers are putting together a juggernaut sports streaming app. Some of the biggest companies in sports broadcasting come together, could help fix sports streaming, or it could be more of the same. Right? Warner Brothers discovering to launch a streaming service in partnership with ESPN, Disney, and Fox Sports. And the funny thing was, when Disney bought Hulu or bought components of Fox, they could have had Fox Sports, but they relinquished it because they had ESPN already. They also got a piece of Hulu, which I think they may have sold since then because they have the Disney app now, right? But now they all are in cahoots to have a streaming app. And this is after these guys have a streaming app. It's announced they have a streaming app. This is after in New York, the Yankees and the Knicks announced they're going to have a one standalone streaming app. So now you have a bunch of mergers taking place for streaming. How does that tie into the Wile E. Coyote being canceled? I think it has everything to do with that. Because then where's the money going to go? Where's it coming from? They're counting their pennies. They're counting their pennies. I had some stuff with Friendly Fire, but I could save that for Knicks Rehab, man. And there you have it. Friendly Fire, Fabian PerspecTV. Deja un like, comentario, y suscribe. 500 more of you guys, the people that we love. And we get 7,000 subscribers. Knicks Rehab coming up, maybe within an hour. Maybe I'll have some friends on here, and we will watch some of you morons embarrass yourself. Friendly Fire, Fabian PerspecTV, AllBall TV, and Fabian PerspecTV. Kidding me? We out here.